Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to the Spring Surge Getting Started webinar. My name is Brian Rose, and this is going to be such a fantastic event. Thank you for joining us. We have a live presentation. We have over 250, 300 people right now, and other people are still joining us. You're going to continue to sort of chat on the sidebar here. We're glad you guys are. Oh, I'm sorry, hold on. I see there's no sound. Just a second. Let's see here. Can you hear us? Let's see. All right, let me see here. Just make sure my microphone is working. Muting. Okay. There we go. Great. They can hear us. Yay! All right. Thanks for your patience. Well, listen, we're so glad that you're here. And I'd like to take a moment and introduce the friends that have joined together to put this webinar on to really help you get off to the best start possible during this spring surge, during this Healthy Living Rules Challenge. The first guest that I'd like to introduce is Jamie Kinsey. Hi, Jamie.
Hi. How are you?
We're great. It's nice to see you. Jamie is joining us from Washington, Missouri. Jamie is a collegiate athlete, occupational therapist, and really just an amazing person. She's a national marketing director with the Juice Plus company, a mom, a wife, just a great, really a spokesperson for health in her community and in her family. So we're so glad you joined us, Jamie.
Thanks, Brian.
I'd also like to introduce to you Dr. Rachel Smart. Hi, Rachel.
Hey, Brian. Hey, Jamie.
Hey.
Glad you're here, Rachel. Thank you for joining us. Dr. Smart's from Georgia, and she is a naturopathic doctor and also a counselor of natural health. And it's such an honor to have you with us, Rachel. I know that you have, you're a published author. You're this very sought-after speaker, a real expert in your field. So thank you for joining us for a half an hour or so tonight. We appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here, and hello to everyone on the call.
Thanks. And I'd also like to introduce you to Tammy Thrasher. Hi, Tammy.
Hi.
Tammy is our American Sign Language interpreter for our deaf and hard of hearing friends. We really want everyone to be able to participate in this challenge and be supported. And so, Tammy, thank you for sharing your skills with us tonight. Well, let's get started, you guys. We're going to jump right in. I'd like to, Jamie, I'm going to sort of turn it over to you to start us off with. We're coming off of, many of us, a 3-month challenge called the January Jumpstart, and it's been so amazing to see what's happened because of that. I'd like you to just, talk about that a little bit, and where do we go from here?
Yeah, well, first I want to congratulate, if anybody's watching tonight for the first time, you didn't participate, congratulations for being on with us, and if you're watching the playback, congratulations for just being open to this information that we get to share with you, because we really are passionate about what we've created and what's happened because of that. And so the January Jumpstart was a really great example of that. These people, we fell in love with just that camaraderie of all being together doing a similar thing and a similar focus and with great results. And so it continued on for 3 months. And so here we are really just ready to, as the organizers, kick back off with the Spring Surge. And we're going to tell you guys a little bit more about that. But March is the perfect time. End of March starts spring. I know here I live in the Midwest. Brian, you guys might have sun right now, which is awesome. And it's a perfect time to start getting outside and to start getting moving. And so really having a solid nutritional foundation is so key. Like, you don't want to just start exercising without having changed your diet. And so this is going to be a huge catalyst for all of us at this time of year, as well as the efforts you put in today for the summer. You're going to be so grateful. You're going to have so much confidence, feel so good about the efforts that you're putting in March and April and May, and the results that you'll have for June, July, and August. So I'm excited for you guys to set these goals for some awesome summers. And what we do now is going to help us to be a catalyst for that. So yeah, do you want to put out, Brian, do you want to share with everybody what we're up to for the Spring Surge?
Yes, absolutely. Let me just share this image right here.
Okay, so I'm going to talk you guys a little bit through this. Now these are, the core, what we call the core 4 healthy living rules, and they do make up the Healthy Living Rules Challenge. And we designed these rules because they promote a healthy psychological response, they promote a healthy hormonal response, they support a healthy gut, and they support immune function and minimize inflammation. All of that is just huge for overall health and getting the desired outcomes for what it is that you want to look like and to be like. And so here, Eat Real Food, and we have that defined by flooding your body with 30 different fruits and vegetables from the Juice Plus capsules. And then we definitely recommend to complement that with the complete shake every day, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that in a little bit. We say no dairy, no gluten, no processed foods, and no artificial sweeteners, and that's going to come in handy in a little bit. We're going to talk about a little campaign we're doing within the Spring Surge. So number 2 is to move your body at least 30 minutes every day. And then number 3 is to drink water. I mean, we're made up of 70% water, so it's so important for our vital organs that we stay hydrated. And so drinking half a gallon to a gallon of water every single day. And then, sorry, Brian, sleeping, oh, so important. So if you're a new mama, get those naps when your babies nap, but we recommend getting a minimum of 7 hours, but really recommend 8 hours of sleep every night. And then number 5 is to show me your sugar, and we are going to dive into that in just a little bit, but it's restricting your sugar to 30 grams or less. And really, the World Health Organization recommends we don't get more than 25 grams a day, and it adds up quick. But we're giving you a little bit of grace, and we say 30 grams of sugar or less a day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great, cool. Thank you for going through that with us. So those are the guidelines, you guys. They're very simple. They're easy to remember. They're totally doable for anyone. And I think what you're going to find as you jump into this is that you may be in a process where you're starting at one place and you may not be perfect right away. That's okay. Give yourself grace and get closer and closer each day to following these guidelines because we're all human and we're heading in the healthy direction, and that's what's really important. Rachel, Dr. Smart, I'd like to ask you a few questions from your experience as a naturopathic doctor, a counselor of natural health. Can you tell us that first of those 4 things, or the 5 things, was to eat real food, which includes like fruits, vegetables, berries, nuts, those types of things, as well as eliminating the sugars and dairy and gluten and artificial sweeteners. Can you tell us why that's so important when we go into this type of a surge or a focused challenge?
Well, I would love to, and I really believe in the experience that I have had is that people want 3 things. They want to look good, they want to feel great, and they want to prevent disease. And the number 1 way to do that is to flood the body and build that foundation of living food, where it's really the foundation for optimal healing. It deflects disease, it neutralizes damage of oxidation and aging, and then combining that with removing the toxic food with processed food, and you talked about the gluten and the dairy, the inflammatory foods, those focus on food and an elimination of those toxic foods. We're going to see a lot better results with healing and feeling and living life our best. And I think oftentimes we may start out by just trying to eat really good, but then we don't take out the bad along with it. We don't see the results, and it will be a lot sluggish if we do see them, but we want to be able to combine those 2 together for optimal healing and really amping up, and that's what this program's all about, is, as I see it, is to really accelerate and to really get better results and better traction.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. So it's important not just to take out the bad things, but to really add in the good things as well. We have to have both of those happening in our diets. Rachel, the second and the third was about drinking water, actually in the 4th, drinking water, and we recommend a half a gallon to a gallon per day. That's sort of a general amount. And moving your body by getting some movement in 30 minutes or more most days, as well as sleeping a minimum of 7 hours. 8 hours is ideal. Can you tell us how are those 3 things also going to really add to this experience for everyone?
Well, I really believe when you think about water, and I think, Jamie, you mentioned that 70% of our body is made out of water, and that's the transport medium to carry the nutrition to the cellular level. We have to have the cellular-to-cellular communication, and water carries the nutrition into the cell and takes out the garbage. And at one time I had a client that we were trying to make changes, and she was eating fruits and vegetables, and he asked her how much water she was getting to really optimize her healing and her health, and she's just said a couple glasses. And I said, well, it's kind of like driving a boat in a dry well, or a dry lake. It's just not going to get the nutrition delivered. We're not going to be able to eliminate the toxic garbage. And so it's really important to have the adequate water that we drink every day, and then combine that with how it works with sleeping. We want to make sure that when, sleeping is when we do the repairing. Is when we restore the body and we take the nutrition and start making things happen as we're resting. It's so critically important. And then, of course, moving the body, it triggers everything to be able to all work together to give the nutrition to where it needs to go, to flood it, with the water, cleaning and delivering, and then the sleeping is restoring, and then moving is making it all spark, like a spark that occurs. And that's how they all work together with the proper pieces to bring the proper results.
Awesome. So they're all really important. It totally makes sense. Rachel, we're doing a new focus with this. We've always, during our challenges, we've always asked people to track and to reduce the amount of sugar that they're eating to 30 grams or less per day, not counting sugars that are in the Juice Plus Complete shakes. And we've always done that for our challenges, but this time around, the people who put this together, we really felt like that needed to be highlighted a little bit more. And so we started kind of this idea, Jamie came up with it initially, of SMYS, Show Me Your Sugar, where everyone is tracking how much sugar they take, and even from things like fruits and vegetables, all sources except for the complete shakes, and then sharing with friends, over social media or whatever, how many grams they eat each day, trying to keep it below 30. Can you tell us why is that important? I know some people might be wondering, have the question, hey, I thought that fruits were really good for me, and by limiting my sugar, I'm limiting the amount of fruits that I can eat. That might be a question that people would have. And also, people might be wondering why the sugars in the Juice Plus Complete shakes are allowed. Why don't we need to track these along with the other sugars? So could you speak to that?
Yes, a lot of questions in there, but I first wanted to just tell, I love the campaigning, and it's the fun factor. I think in order to make a program really work, you have to have fun, you have to have accountability, and you have to have it tied with education. That's what makes changes occur. So I think that's the piece that I like about this program, is those pieces have to be there. And then we talk about the education with sugar. I mean, Americans, 84% of a majority of Americans have 84 grams of sugar a day. We're looking at obese society, and it's really scary what's happening with especially this generation that's coming up. And 30 grams of sugar, we're going to see dramatic results when we start really tracking those. I think we have to track results, and that's part of this program, is really being identifying what we think we do and what we actually do could be very different. So tracking the results are going to be a lot of different results. And then we also, just a little bit about the sugar, I mean, we talk about the looking good and feeling good and preventing disease piece. I look at clients that have changed and start eating whole food and getting off processed food and getting their sugar content down, and within a couple of days you can see dramatic changes in the skin, the smooth textures, the more softer, the glow of the skin, and the wrinkles. It's amazing what, lessening wrinkles and how sugar binds with collagen, and that's a big difference when we get off the sugar, at least reduce it dramatically like this. And then also the feeling better, we're seeing benefits because, the mood, we're not having such the mood swings. We're not being able to have to always run to the refrigerator and think about what we're going to eat all the time. It really stabilizes, and it's incredible the differences. And then above all, the prevention part, which is really my passion, is preventing. It's a breeding ground for disease, is what cancer thrives off of, sugar and the environment that is created. So I want to lay that foundation there, and then also with the fruit sugar is fruit is very, very important. It has loads of antioxidants, phytonutrients, minerals, and vitamins. They're very important, but they're not to be a free-for-all. They're not a 24/7. I have so many clients who think they're doing really well, and they have a green smoothie with 5 servings of fruits in there, and they wonder why they're gaining weight and not seeing the results. So that's really important to track the sugar. We're doing this for a time, and everybody on the call have different visions of what you want. And so you have to decide how you're incorporating this program, but we're really having you track the grams of sugar so you can bring that surge into those March, April, and May months to be able to see the benefits of really changing, tricking your body, getting your pancreas to kind of relax, give a little vacation there, and to really start communicating better. So that's the piece with fruit. We want to make sure it's good for you, but it's not a free-for-all. And we end up eating too much, and we don't see the results that we need to, and we have a lot of the sugar rushes and eat a half of a watermelon and, you know, a whole bag of, you know, grapes, but we just have to be intentional and pay attention. We're going to see a lot better results. And then as far as the shakes go, this is so flooded with 25 raw fruits and vegetables. You got the fiber, you've got sea vegetables, you got 9 types of plant proteins. So we're giving this in this program a kickstart benefit to you to be able to have that not count because it's so loaded with the benefits that are going to take you to another level with your health. And so we want you to count the fruit that goes in the shakes, but the shake itself is going to be something that you don't have to, it's a groundwork for your results. And that's how I see it, Brian.
That's so helpful. You know, I just saw, we have a private Facebook group. Everyone that, if you're not a part of it yet, we definitely want you to be in there, where everyone who's doing this challenge, we're together in this one group. And just this morning, someone posted that they made themselves a shake, and they made it like they always made it. They used their regular almond milk, and they put in the complete shake powder, and then they put in some ice, and then they added some strawberries, a banana, and some cherries. And they were shocked that when they actually entered it into the MyFitnessPal app that we're recommending, that they had over 30 grams of sugar just in their one shake, just for breakfast. And it was such a surprise to them. They realized, wow, I could easily make some small changes and still enjoy my shake, still be satisfied, but really reduce that level of sugar a lot. Do you find that that type of thing will be happening as people begin to track their sugars more?
Absolutely. You're going to see a lot of difference in realizing it tastes delicious, but we're just doing this to, you know, keep a log of your body, see how your body responds. And like you're going to explain more, Brian, but there's a program where you can make it cater to you, whether it's a 7-day, try it out. You know, we got 14-day, we got 3 months, but just in this period of time is really being intentional. We want you to really be able to have better control over your brain, have less brain fog, less inflammation, giving your body a break, and then incorporate maybe the lower glycemic ones like the berries over grapes and bananas for a time, just to get more results. It just kind of amps up some things in a stronger way, and then it can be modified.
That's great. Now, Rachel, I do know, like, I'm looking at my Juice Plus capsules. The Orchard blend is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different fruits, and you get the nutrition from all of these 10 different fruits without any of the sugar. You recommend the Juice Plus Orchard blend as well as the Garden blend with the vegetables and the Vineyard blend with the berries. And again, all these different berries with no sugar. Why do you recommend Juice Plus, and why should everyone really add this to their diet if they're not already taking it?
Well, if you want to really increase your health all over, the number one thing is to increase consumption of raw fruits and vegetables. And I remember one of my mentors is Richard Cutler from the National Institute of Health, and he said the amount of antioxidants that you consume in living food is consistently directly proportional to how long you will live, and how well you will feel. And so I have a passion for Juice Plus because it came into my life at a time where it was a critical state where my husband he looked great, felt great, he was an athlete, he was suddenly diagnosed with terminal cancer, and we started juicing to get a lot of loads of raw fruits and vegetables, and it was a lot of sugar, a lot of mop, a lot of cleanup, and very expensive, and it didn't have the wide variety, and the quality wasn't there. So I was able to find a way to flood my body with a ton of fruits and vegetables through Juice Plus, with a wider organ-specific spectrum, and it was dramatically shifted in my, seeing what happened to my husband. He went from a 6-month diagnosis to 8 years with optimal health. And it, you know, taught me about the power of food. It's not just good for you, it saves your life. And so what I see this is being part of this program. I mean, for me, it went from I have good health, it went to great health. Changed my skin, it's able to catalyst other changes, whether it's weight loss catalyst or and aligning the, you know, if you don't need to lose weight, it just balances things out. But it's critically important to be able to move things forward with the healing, the changes that we want to make. And of course, with this program, it's fundamental, it's foundational, it's critical.
Mm. What an amazing story. I never heard you share that part of your story before. Thank you so much for telling us that. We really appreciate it. Dr. Smart, we're going to come back to you in just a moment if you have any closing thoughts. But Jamie, I would like to ask you, could you tell us a little bit about the Show Me Your Sugar campaign? How is this going to work? Tell us a little bit. It was your idea. You're like the master of this. So tell us it.
Well, I mean, it is everywhere. There's lots of really fun resources, books. There's a book called I Quit Sugar. I mean, you can look on Twitter or Facebook. You guys are going to find a lot of great resources, or Google it. But if you will put this image up, Brian, I knew that this is something that could spread virally. And I know that when you, like Dr. Rachel said, is when you track things, when you know what your performance is, then you can make your performance better. And then when you are telling other people about your performance, that helps to hold you accountable even more and have even more of those results that you really do want. And it's not always easy to put that number out there and to be real and to be transparent, but I promise you guys, you're going to give each other hope. And like Dr. Rachel said, the first 2 days that I ever used MyFitnessPal to track my sugars, it came back over 100 grams of sugar. And I'm somebody who prides myself on eating really clean and eating really well. But it was the frozen pineapple that I was putting in my smoothie, and it was the Larabar that I was eating. And it just added up really quickly. And so, I'm sorry, Brian, you can go back to that image. So here's what Show Me Your Sugar is all about. Number one is you're going to choose your own time frame, like Dr. Rachel alluded to. You get to pick. Do you want to do this for 7 days? Do you want to do this for 14 days? Do you want to do it for a month? Or do you want to do it for all 3 months? You get to pick. And you know, you may get started and have life happen, and guess what? You can pick up and do this again whenever you want. But pick your own time frame, and then commit to eating less than 30 grams of sugar each day, including fruit. But do not include the sugar from the complete, because we know those are so nutrient dense. And honestly, if you can keep a stable blood sugar, you're going to keep willpower. And we want you to be successful, and we want you to have willpower, and we want you to get a full meal from that complete shake, and to keep you from eating any, being tempted by anything else that's around you. Number 3 is you're going to download the MyFitnessPal app onto your phone, and then you're going to use that app to track your sugars every day. And I have a lot of fun doing it. Once you get used to entering this stuff in, it remembers it. So you don't have to always scan the barcodes. You don't have to always enter stuff. Once you've kind of got your routine of what you enter in, it's really easy. And you can share it with other people too. So there's kind of a whole social media side to that if you want to take that on. And then what we are going to ask you to do is to post a selfie on social media with the number of grams of sugar you ate the previous day using the hashtag SYMS. So Brian's kind of got those images. Here's what I got today, and I need to put hashtag SYMS on that. Oh, did you see me? Here's what I did today. So 20 is what I've got you today, and probably in my past I'd be tempted to maybe have one more complete shake, which I know that wouldn't count, or have a bar or something like that. But because I'm doing this challenge, it helps to hold me accountable to not doing any more tonight. I'll just drink my cup of hot tea, and then I'm going to go to bed. So, Brian, what else was on that image? Could you? Perfect. Eat your Juice Plus capsules every day, and then if a friend asks what you're doing, then send them to the healthylivingrules.org /challenges. So you can post this image of yourself publicly, but we really want you also to post it within the Facebook group that's been created. And so like Brian said, if you haven't been added to it yet, please ask your Juice Plus distributor, and they will be able to get you into that group. I think you can add yourself too from the website. Is that right, Brian?
Yes, I believe you sure can.
Yeah. So I'm really excited because I think this is a whole campaign. I could see schools getting behind. I could see the cafeteria, if you could get the cafeteria lady on board, and just, it's really about increasing awareness, because people have no idea how much sugar they're consuming on a daily basis. And we are in a healthcare crisis. And it's our job to set our kids up for success in the future, and so this is something we're implementing as a whole household, and we're excited to help to spread the word and just to continue to be on this health journey ourselves.
Oh, Jamie, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Rachel, I'd like to ask you a question, Dr. Smart. People are asking about the Juice Plus Complete bars. They are so delicious and they're so healthy. We've decided that the bars are not exempt from the 30 grams per day like the shakes are. If people eat the bars, that they should also track that sugar as well. Can you tell us why that's important, just in case people are wondering the difference?
Well, I really believe that the bars are to be occasional. It's something that once you start doing the shake and the bars and the bars and the shakes, and pretty soon you're not even eating other food. We want you to eat real food. We want you to be able to be creative and learn to enjoy sitting down, and we have busy lives, but we don't want you to be thinking that they're all free for all, that just happens 3 or 4 bars a day, because we want you to get results. We want you to be able to have a variety of things in and to be able to learn how to eat, because that's the purpose of teaching our families, teaching our children how to eat, and to be able to have that as a backup. And sometimes I break the bar in half and have that in between, because it is more 170 calories, and it's all 100% plants, but it's something that I use as a backup or in between, or break the bar in half, but it needs to be part of adding into what we're talking about tonight to get better results and learning how to eat and share, grow as a family.
Okay, thank you very much. I know people were wondering about that. I'd like to, I want to apologize first of all. In the beginning when I was introducing everyone, I was looking on my screen and I forgot to look next to me. I'd like to introduce you all to my wife, Deanne Rose. And we really wanted Deanne to come on and to share her experience with reducing sugar. She has a great experience. So, Deanne.
Okay, so I have a great story on my experience of reducing sugar. And the reason I want to share it with you is because you may be sitting there wondering what this is actually going to be like and if you can actually do it. And I'm here to tell you that you can, because I did. So I'll just share with you my story. I grew up addicted to sugar. And I have a feeling that it's going to be the one thing that I am constantly needing to fight for the rest of my life. And that's just what it is. And we call it the sugar monster amongst my friends. And because of that, I'm really passionate about helping people really gain control over that, because it affected my health. So I had so much sugar in my diet on a regular basis over a lifetime, not a lifetime, but 25 years, that it started to adversely affect my health. And so my doctor put me on a very strict diet for 2 months, where I had 0 sugar, 0 fruit, 0 grains, and even 0 complete shakes. Nothing. It was basically protein and vegetables and nuts. And I had to do it for 2 months, and there was no cheating and no flexibility within it. And let me tell you what it was like. And then I'll tell you the good news. It was really hard at first, because first of all, I was off of sugar, gluten, and dairy, all completely cold turkey. And my body just really detoxed a lot. And it was a lot of emotional detoxing as well, because up until that point, I was always thinking about the next thing I was going to eat, where I was going to find that next snack, and what I was going to end my meal with. And I felt like I had had all of the joy in life taken away from me. But as time went on, those feelings started to fade. And I noticed that my mental state became a lot less emotional regarding food. And even as time went on further, I really started to understand where you eat to live instead of live to eat. And needless to say, I lost a lot of weight. I dropped pounds like that. I felt amazing. I wasn't bloated or cloudy in my mind. And I just really was so proud of myself for doing that, and I cured my health condition. And so the thing that I love coming out of that time for me, and what I think that you're going to find for yourself, is that you're going to come away with some permanent lifestyle upgrades. Anytime that you go through a period of intense discipline, you come out of that not necessarily maintaining that discipline as strictly, but you do gain some things that you keep for the rest of your life. And so for me, mostly with fruit, I eat fruit now with thought instead of thoughtlessly. I don't eat it very much. I don't grab a banana every time I go through the kitchen. I'm not always eating an apple because sometimes I think my addiction to sugar, I made excuses for it by saying it was healthy fruit. And so I'm not eating fruit very much anymore. I no longer add sugar to anything. I don't have sugar in my oatmeal. I don't put maple syrup on my pancakes. I drink unsweet tea. All of those ways that sugar adds into things, my taste buds don't miss it anymore because I got used to not having it. And then when I do have an indulgence, I know it's an indulgence, and I'm satisfied with just a small amount. Like, for example, milk chocolate is disgusting to me now. I only like dark chocolate. Like, how should I say this? At the end of a meal, if I feel like I need something sweet, I'll go and have a teaspoon of peanut butter, and I feel like I've just had dessert. And so it's those little things that really help. So I think you're going to be proud of yourselves for the things that you are able to permanently change in your lifestyle because of this challenge. And I'm here to say that as hard as it was for me, it is so much easier for you because you've got these amazing Juice Plus Complete shakes that are so healthy, and they satisfy that craving for sugar. You can look forward to your shake in the morning, and you can look forward to it later on in the day. I didn't have the shakes, and so you guys do, and it's going to be so much easier for you, and this is going to be really a lot easier than you think. So there's a couple things I was remembering from when I did this that may help you. It's really important to clearly define the time frame that you want to do this challenge for. Have it clear in your mind how many days you want to go before you start. For me, I knew I could do it because it was exactly 2 months and not 1 day more. Be prepared with food ahead of time so that you are not hungry. If you are hungry, you're going to get mad and you're going to go for things that you would regret later on. A really cool idea is instead of adding fruit to your shake, add some healthy fats like an avocado a little bit, some nut butters, things like that. I love putting coconut in mine or even oatmeal if you're into eating grains. Find new comfort foods and rituals. Okay, so at night, instead of thinking you need hot chocolate, grab a cup of tea and a little slice of orange, and let that be your new ritual that you enjoy and look forward to. For me, my new comfort food is a sweet potato. I love a sweet potato. It makes me feel really, really good. You can also add lemon and lime into your water to cut the sweet craving. If you're feeling really in a difficult spot, drink a glass of some lemon water, and that will take care of it. Sour can do that for you. When you do eat fruits, choose low glycemic ones. The dark berries, the blueberries, the strawberries, and those will make you feel like you've had yummy fruit, but it's less sugar. Taste the sweetness in the vegetables that you eat. The orange ones have delicious sweetness to them. Carrots and sweet potatoes and squash and pumpkin, they really do have sugar in them, and it's really good if you can learn how to taste the sweetness in those. And you know what? At the end of a meal or when you're having a hard time, brush your teeth. That'll take care of it for you. Just brush your teeth after you're done eating, and you won't feel like you need to keep going. Put some natural gum in your purse or in your car and throw a piece of gum in your mouth and chew the gum. That helps. And at the end of the day, you just need to go to bed. Like when I was really feeling sorry for myself or was just whatever, I just said, you know, I'm just going to go to bed. And that got me through until the next day. So I hope those things help, and I'm just really excited for all of this for the next few months.
That's great. Thank you. Great advice, great tips. Let's close up the webinar right now, and before we do, I'd like to give each of the speakers a chance to share any final thoughts, any tips, you know, heading out the door to make it easier for everyone. Jamie, would you like to share anything before we go?
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple things. One is, you know, if you feel like you're hungry, right, during this time frame that you're choosing, I mean, protein is a great thing to help to also keep you satiated, so feeling full for a while. And so look for those, clean, healthy proteins. I'm a big egg eater. I love eggs. It's fun to make hard-boiled eggs and eat those as a quick snack as well. So protein is important. Number 2 is water. That's something that I kind of struggled with. I could drink hot drinks all day. That's kind of like my sensory thing, but just drinking like cold, plain water was the challenge. So I start my day. I set a cup of 8 ounces right next to my bed, and before my feet ever hit the floor, I open my eyes in the morning, I see that glass of water, like I know I'm going to finish that before my feet hit the floor. And so I just chug 8 ounces to start my day, and that's made a huge difference with my skin, just with recovery, with energy. It's awesome, and it helps me to get more water throughout the day. In my smoothie, it really blew my mind how good a smoothie could taste with just vegetables, so like some kale and some spinach, some cilantro and parsley, and just the vanilla and almond milk and cinnamon. I mean, it's ridiculous. There was no fruit. When I took the fruit out and had that, I was just shocked. It was still awesome. So try just a green smoothie with your vanilla. And then lastly, I think just be your own experiment. Like, give yourself grace. It's okay if the first couple of days you find that what you're eating, like, it's having more sugar than normal. Like, be real. Just say, who knew, right? And tomorrow you get to do better. And we can't wait to see your journey. So thank you for being with us. And thank Brian for hosting. This was awesome.
Oh, Jamie, thank you. Great advice. And thank you also for everything you're doing to contribute to the Facebook group and everything that's happening. I know you're very active on there, and you watch every single post and really offer people some great input as well. So thanks in advance for that. And Dr. Smart, thank you for joining us. Is there anything you'd like to leave us with for the webinar?
Well, I think there's so much that's been said, and I guess I'll just add 2 things, which is, it's just being intentional living. We want to be able to not worry so much about what we're eating and controlling that blood sugar. We want to be able to know that we can build relationships and not worry about what are we going to eat next, and really control our lives so we can embrace the life that we deserve, and to focus on why we're doing something so that we can be able to do more of giving, going, and to be able to contributing in this community. I want to thank you, Brian and Deanne, for putting this kind of the community together with a lot of insight, because it's the way that we can change and create a ripple effect that can change the world. So thank you so much, and good luck to all of us as we come together as a community.
It is all about community, Rachel, and I know since joining with the Healthy Living community, my health has improved so much with the challenges, but also outside of the challenges. We have kind of a lifestyle that when we're not in the middle of one of these intense challenges, we still do live a very healthy lifestyle according to the 4 healthy living rules. And that's been such a help to me because of the people around me, the support that I feel. And I know it's the same for you too. So here's your action steps, everyone. If you don't have Juice Plus yet at your home, you need to get with the person who invited you to this webinar and ask them how to get a hold of your Juice Plus. We recommend the red, green, and purple, the fruit, vegetable, and the berry blends. These are capsules. You take a minimum of 2 of each color every day, however you want, all in the morning, all at night, whatever. And we also recommend that you get some Juice Plus Complete. There's chocolate and vanilla. It's an entirely plant-based shake. You can drink it first thing in the morning, drink it for a snack in the evening, but the nutrition in the Juice Plus Complete shake has actually been studied at medical centers, and it has been shown to help with abdominal fat loss, along with just the whole concept of being so satisfying that it helps you avoid other unhealthy choices during the day. It's like liquid willpower, we call it at our house. When you have a complete shake, you can really make some good choices in other areas of your life. So be sure you have those. Get a lot of healthy, high-protein snacks ready to go. Those nuts, the eggs, the vegetables that you can grab in Ziploc bags, ready to throw into your lunch or your purse or whatever. Have those close at hand so that before you're hungry, you can eat some of that, so you don't even have to go there. You don't need to come to the point where you're famished and you need to decide what to do. Just make sure you have those snacks close at hand. And be sure you're plugged into our Facebook group. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put the link right below the video in the comment section so you can join that way. Or If you're watching it live, we will automatically redirect you as soon as this webinar is over. So just keep your web browser open, and you'll go to the Spring Surge Facebook group. You can also search for it on Facebook. Just type in Spring Surge, and it will be one of the groups that comes up. So you guys have an amazing March. During the next few months, we're going to be having other webinars to support you, to bring you some great information. But this Getting Started one, I think, was a huge success. So have a great one. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.